Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, we're going to talk about massive ramps. This is a way to combine your warm-up sets, peaking to a top working set. Before I get into this topic, if you guys need coaching, check out the link down below. Coaching is what I do for a living. I'd love to work with you. All right. Ramping sets are nothing new. I didn't create this protocol, and I'm not pretending that I did, but we're going to cover things in this video. I'm going to show you basically how to combine your warm-up sets and your working sets to ramp up to a peak set, and then if you want afterwards, you can drop down for more volume and do back down sets like the Massive Iron Threes protocol. This is something I used for about a year. I don't know, back in maybe 1998 on my bench, I would warm up and then ramp up to about 275 by 4. And then I would drop off and do back down sets. When you do this, your central nervous system is already awake and aware, and the drop down sets just feel a little bit lighter. These are optional. You don't have to do them, but they're certainly something to consider. Now, before I hop into this is something I do a lot on my overhead presses. I'll ramp up a lot on 3s or 4s and then go to a top set and do back down sets. This also works really, really well with the bench press. It's not going to work well with all compound movements, but if you get the rep range right, it's something you can use well for squats and or deadlifts. All right, let's dive in. Now, as I said, massive ramps involve progressively increasing the weight using a specific rep range, such as 4, 6, or 8 reps, until you reach a top set. After this, you perform 1 or 2 back down sets, depending on your available gym time, gym setup, and energy levels. The top set is pushed for maximum safe and high quality reps, and we're going to use this as a progression indicator. So let's say you're using a 4-rep ramping protocol. Maybe when you get to 5 or 6 reps on that top set, you move up in weight or about 5 pounds. If you're using the 6-rep ramping protocol, maybe when you get to 7 or 8, probably 8, then you would add 5 pounds to this protocol. The back down sets are adjusted by about 10%. So if you're doing about 200 pounds on your top set or your heavy set on the bench press, if you're going to do back down sets, I would drop them down by about 10% increments, maybe down to about 180 for max safe reps, and then maybe about 160 for max safe reps. Now, why should you consider this protocol? Why should you make the jump? Well, it's certainly not magic. It's just a fun tool you can use. It blends warm-up sets and working sets into one smooth progression, helping you properly prepare your central nervous system while building your work capacity. When you reach your top set or your peak set, you're already primed for peak performance. The back down sets will feel lighter, making it mentally easier to push them hard and deep. This is one big benefit of doing back down sets. Now, my general guideline is to use a 7.5% ramping structure. So whatever your top set is or your heaviest set, we're going to work up in about 7.5% increments. Begin by increasing the weight in roughly 7.5% increments relative to your planned top set, using your target rep range, of course. If this results in too few ramping sets, reduce the increment to around 5%. If you're super strong and it's involving too many sets or you just need bigger weight jumps, don't hesitate to increase the ramping to about 10%. Now, this is an example that uses a 4-rep ramp protocol. You can use anything you want. You don't have to go this slow. You can use more conventional hypertrophy, 6, 7, 8, even 10 if you want. If you want to get brutal with your bench press and do 10-rep ramps, have at it. That would be a really quality way to attack hypertrophy. So if your peak set is about 200 pounds for 4 reps and you're ramping up using 7.5% increments of the peak weight, which is 200 pounds, here's how it would look. Here's a step-by-step ramp. You're going to see 125 by 4, 140 by 4, 155 by 4, 170 by 4, 185 by 4, and then 200 by 4 or maximum safe reps. You can see you're kind of stepping up, combining your warm-up sets and your working sets, waking up your central nervous system, and building your work capacity. This would give you about 6 total sets, gradually increasing the load. All right, and here is a 6-rep ramping example. Let's say your peak set is about 250 for 6. Maybe you're doing this on squats, whatever, and you're ramping up using 7.5% increments. 7.5% of 250 is going to be about 18.75. So whenever you have one of these tweener weights, you have to decide if you want to ramp up with 15 or 20. Here we're going to ramp up using 20 pounds, 150 by 6, 170 by 6, 190 by 6, 210 by 6, 230 by 6, and then your last set is going to be 250 by 6 or maximum safe quality reps. Again, if you hit 7 or 8 reps on this set, then it's time to increase the weight. Now, as you can see, this system can be used with virtually any rep range. In the examples above, I use 4 to 6 ramping sets, but you can adjust them to 3s, to 5s, to 8s, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Feel free to adjust them based on the demands of the exercise and your goals and your time in gym. Just keep in mind that you may need 1 or 2 extra warm-up sets before these ramping sets, depending on the weight. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go into the gym, I'll just do the bar by 10. Maybe you need a tweener set of 95 for 5 to 6 reps, or maybe a set at 135 before you jump into these ramping sets. If you need help on any of this, don't hesitate to hit me up on Instagram at BenTheBarman or email me, benthebarman@gmail.com. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.